So you can see his econ is way ahead. He's got more harvesters regardless. Boxer's going to come over here and make a planetary fortress actually at that expansion, whereas Mio has an extra orbital command at his third base. Probably a PF going to be put up over here in this situation. Uh-oh, little exploratory force running around the back. Where is he going to go? He's stimmed these guys, apparently. No, they're just running fast. Never mind. He's just going to run in the side here and force Boxer to fall back a little bit. Tanks battling tanks over here on the other side. A few Vikings in the air for Mio. Excuse me, Boxer, having felt that pressure, has decided to go for the planetary fortress, like I said, and it's it's not really being put to use as yet. He's got his tanks in the front. I guess this planetary fortress is kind of in range to... Well, it's not really within range to help at all, actually, if Mio comes in here. Now, he is holding this choke, though, so it's not as if it'd be more advantageous to fall back to his planetary fortress, although he does have to worry about this side over here. Regardless, Mio's in control of both towers right now. He's got a little bit more of the map, but if Boxer's at even bases now, though, because he's getting this up as well. Another PF over there. Now at this point, they both got a lot of income, especially with the high yield mineral patches going for both of them. So I think that's why Boxer feels comfortable. Jesus, look at that. 3,000 minerals a minute coming in there for a moment for Mio. He's just getting tons of money in the bank. And is it transferring into army, though? They're about even in army right now. You can see Mio, well, actually he's got even a little bit less here. His supply count's only a little bit less, but it looks as if he's spent a lot less gas on his units, apparently. Perhaps more Marines? I'm not exactly sure how that plays out. Someone did tell me that this income tab was glitched, but I don't know how much of a... Anyway, but just looking at the unit tab for a moment here, a lot more harvesters again for Mio. He's got a lot more income going on. Boxer with more Marauders. And look at this, 7 Vikings actually. Where are all those Vikings at? 7 Vikings in the air. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm totally missed this little drop over here. Boxer doing some damage over here. And he's going to send some SCVs over to build turrets on the far side of the planetary fortress. In the meantime, these 2 Marauders are going to be able to just kind of pick away at these units there. And oh, the dropship going down, but he manages to drop these Marauders out nonetheless. They're going to be able to just kill off random turrets. I like these depots all around the back here, just to spot dropships coming in or anything like that. Another, oh man, I keep missing these drops. I completely apologize. More units. Actually, I don't think they were dropped even. I think they just kind of ran around the back here. They're running in and, oh no, sieging up on this planetary fortress, and he can't lift it off. Oh no! Oh no! Boxer's gonna lose it! Oh, he's targeting the PF! Just a couple hits left. Oh! Polishes off. Wow, polishes off those tanks with 2 siege tank hits, perhaps 3 left to kill that planetary fortress. And some more units coming in here to just do some harassment. This is kind of strange. Mio's not even doing drops. He's just kind of running in units from the sides and attacking the sides. And here he comes in again with some Vikings this time. It's just going to drop them on the cliff and try and kill some SCVs. Boxer is on top of it, though. Wow, a lot of back and forth action here going on, and a lot of kind of harassment going on in different places. And again, Boxer still managing to hold this choke point here. These tanks getting a little bit too close, and it's interesting how, just like in Starcraft 1, it was always been an interesting thing where it's even more interesting. Well, hold that thought. Actually, picking up those units and dropships, doesn't want to lose them. And Boxer now going in for the kill. He's moving in all these siege tanks within range. He's going to try and wipe out this point. Oh man, so many tanks. And oh, Mio, realizing there's a lack of Marines, tries to drop his units on top of those tanks, but drops them right in front instead of in the midst. So the tanks do not as much damage to each other. Could have dropped that a little bit better. He's going to try and do it again, just dropping some Marauder bombs, basically. Looks like he's going to take out 1 tank through splash from the others, and Boxer's going to be forced to put up a series of turrets here to protect these tanks. Vikings are coming in. Where are they going to go? They're going to fly right over and try and maybe harass this high yield, or again harass this, perhaps go on this ridge here. Well, they can't drop down below there. But anyway, Boxer with the PFs around here, not really doing much good because those mineral lines are still exposed to drops like these. And he's already over it, on top of it. He's going to send these Marauders over here, and they're going to have to lift up. Anyway, Boxer consistently going around and picking off these random turrets and stuff. And another drop going on back here as well, staying out of range of that PF, but forcing him to pull some units away. And this single siege tank is going to be enough, though. I like that move. Oftentimes when in TVT I get bio-rushed when I'm trying to tech up, and I've taken to putting a single siege tank kind of in this spot, because you can see it can reach around behind that mineral line pretty well, just to stop those bio drops that, or at least delay those bio drops. More bombs coming in here, but despite the fact that there's turrets, this time wasting the dropship to get a bio bomb on top of these tanks, but Boxer reinforcing with more tanks. Actually, it looks like he's going to try and reinforce this location and really just kind of cut the map in half. You can see almost this line of purple on the minimap, cutting the map almost literally in half. Now, Mio is taking this extra expansion over here. He's planetary fortressing that. And that's kind of random. SCV is just running around. Anyway, he's planetary fortressing that one in case of drops and things. Boxer has not yet taken his 5th base over here, but he's obviously secured it in preparation for that. So, yeah, anyway, there comes, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he even puts an orbital command over here. Might be better to put a 3rd, well, I don't know. When you get to this point where there's lots of SCVs around, and you have 2 orbital commands, and you don't have really tons of bases, you know, you see a little bit less. Look, I mean, there's no mules on the map right now. At a later stage in the game, dropping those mules doesn't really matter as much when you've got enough mineral intake and you're just limited by gas, especially when you're maxed, like Mio is. And Boxer, let's see, Boxer almost maxed, not quite though. Anyway, so that's when you see them making more. The PFs aren't as important later on because you can spare the minerals basically, and it's better to have some defenses. Anyway, here he comes in. Mio trying to go in for a huge drop on the high ground. Boxer's gonna have to well, no, never mind. Duh, he's got his own buildings up there, so he won't have to comsat to get vision. But he's running with a lot of forces, and those tanks get wiped out, absolutely wiped out. So now Boxer. Well, Mio, yeah, look at this. Boxer barely losing any supply. That 177 is what he had a moment ago when I checked. Mio has gone from maxed to 167. And look at this, he's even going to put a couple tanks up on the high ground. So Boxer's going to take this momentary advantage and try and push in. But, oh, he can't push in too close, though. He's actually going to run these forces all the way across the middle of the map. Oh, no, and he's going to get this armory up here. It's just been built, actually. I'm not sure. Is he even upgrading? I haven't seen. Yeah, you know what? I haven't noticed any upgrades going on for either player. Both players at 0 upgrades. Wow, that's really interesting to see at this late in the stage in the game. Both players with 0 upgrades. Do we even see any armories for Boxer anywhere? I don't even see any armories right now. But regardless, Boxer's shelling the SCVs out of the way of this, and he's trying to kill off this PF as well. A comsat going down just to see what units are coming inbound. I think that was Boxer's comsat to see what was going to attack him, to try and clear out this force. There's Mio's comsat to spot those forces for his tank, and a counter comsat so he can spot the high ground tank. Now, what I was talking about earlier, that I think I have a moment to explain here. Oh man, if he spots this, that's going to be hardcore though. Oh, he goes after the Viking, and he's gonna spot these 2 starports as well. He's gonna kill off the starports. Oh man, hardcore. The Banshees are not going to be produced. He was going to try and switch to Banshees since there's a lack of Vikings and Marines. Oh man, and he gets caught in the act, caught red-handed, and a single Banshee does get out, but pops immediately to those Marines. Wow, hardcore. Some more battle going on over here. He was producing another Banshee from his starport. Somewhere else he has a starport. Maybe that was produced earlier and I missed it. Trying to pick off these tanks. Boxer's going to follow those tanks back a little bit close to these missile turrets. Let's see, missile turrets range 7. Banshees range 6. Aww. Backlash rockets. They like giving funny names to the attacks. Punisher grenades. Let's see, what is this? Crucio shock cannon. No more arc light in this game, I guess. Wow, look at this. He's still going in despite the fact that it's his planetary. Oh, is he out of the? He's out of range of the planetary fortress. Wow, able to get some kills in there. I think he was out of range. No, kills 2. Maybe he was just within range. It was hard to tell. I didn't see it firing, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention the right way. Anyway, Boxer now has his expansion over here. Boxer now is the one maxed, and Mio is the one a little bit below maxed. So Boxer has turned things around. Wow, a lot of back and forth play continue. Oh, when he gets the... Oh, man, the Xel'Naga Watchtower allowed him to spot on top of that ridge. That Banshee is almost dead, but it's able to cloak and stay out of the damage for just a moment longer. excuse me, Boxer has pretty good coverage of the map right now because he's got both. Well, actually, he's got this Xel'Naga watchtower. In fact, let's just go ahead and go to one of their each of their views here and look at what vision he has. Look, Boxer has vision across this entire center, and he has vision of this huge army coming in from the top. Lots of Marauders stimming and running in to try and kill off these tanks, but they're all very low in health by going through all that tank fire and the counter Marauder fire. They do get in close enough to kill off the tanks, though. A couple of them, but Boxer maintains control of that location. And look at this, he's got a medevac full of a damaged medevac, very, very damaged medevac full of Marauders. Oh, those Marines could just kill that off. Oh, but he gets the Marauder drop off. He's going to lose the medevac, but he has to unsiege to save those tanks for just a moment. Wow, and Boxer in the meantime moving in his own siege tanks. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let's see how far back that goes, actually. What just happened there? Where'd the dropship go? Anyway, maybe it was the tanks doing that major damage. Anyway, I thought I would be able to spend a moment catching that attack over there, but it looks like the tanks were just doing the major damage there. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, I keep trying to say this. So the tanks have a longer range than they have vision, basically. So you need to comsat to see the enemy tanks. Now, in StarCraft 1, it was less interesting because oh, here comes nice Vikings polishing off that that Banshee. Anyway, in StarCraft 1, it was less interesting because when an enemy unit attacked you, you got vision of it for a moment. So your tanks would still counterattack. And look at this. When you're maxed, this is a handy thing to do, is just run in. Actually, Boxer's not even maxed at this point, but he's just trying to whittle down those forces. And yeah, Mio with even less forces right now, and they're able to replenish their forces a little bit less since both of them have mined out their high yield minerals, except for these two. Only 2 high yield minerals on the map left. But in StarCraft 1, you don't get vision of units that are attacking you. So if they're on the high ground, for instance, you still need to have vision of that high ground. I think you see where they are, but you don't have. There's fog of war on them still, so you don't actually see them in a way that lets you attack them, basically. And Boxer's trying to just edge in slowly and steadily into this area, moving his tanks a little bit farther forward, just to get his firing line a little bit farther forward. See, look at that. His tanks are just barely within range of this line of tanks here, but he's just edging a little bit farther forward each time he has an opportunity. Just being really annoying with these Banshees. I don't even know where the starport is. There it is. Starport going on over here. And finally some research going on. Level 2 weapons going on. What is that? Oh, I just missed something. Boxer just researched something interesting. I didn't see exactly what it was. I think it may have been... No? What was it? But he's making battle cruisers, so that's handy. Where's his fusion core? I think it was probably researching something at the fusion core, which I can't find. Fusion core, where are you? Mio trying to take control of this area here in the middle, and wow, he did actually. I'm sorry, I completely missed it again. It looks like he moved in his tanks just a little bit down and then re-sieged them up and comsatted so he could spot Boxer's tanks first and kill them off. Boxer trying to fall back to this other position where his turrets are. He's going to lose a turret here. He may lose these tanks as well. Boxer needs to reinforce this pretty quick, and this is reinforcement, baby.